she's making all these suggestions without evidence. Very painful for people.
Very painful for people, he says. But the man that he's talking about isn't even feeling pain anymore because he's dead.
This idea that she's making all these suggestions without evidence, very painful for people. It's okay to suggest, well, maybe this, maybe that, but as soon as you start launching accusations, TPUSA betrayed, so him portrayed Charlie. I had a dream that Charlie told me this. That's not evidence.
That this entire investigation feels like a bad Fed operation. We are looking for answers from his friends. So
real quick, just to catch everybody up, for those who are watching this and you've never seen this before, you never heard of this whole case before. There are crooked pastors, crooked security guards surrounding this whole Charlie Kirk situation to the point where it literally looks like it's a military operation and not just a bunch of friends, a bunch of security guards, a pastor's son, Charlie Kirk's best friend. No, this whole thing literally looks like a military operation. And the guy that was just speaking is literally Charlie Kirk's pastor. No, I'm sorry, Charlie Kirk's friend, who is a pastor. And then there's another guy named Rob McCoy, who's also a pastor. And then there's a security guard who's now a pastor in Guatemala. And then there's another guy that's a pastor somewhere else. And then you start thinking like, yo, why is Charlie Kirk's, all his friends, pastors all of a sudden? But they're also military personnel. So there's this weird, I was in the military for like 30 years and I was over here and I was over there, but all of a sudden now I want to be a pastor. And then the craziest part of all this, the same thing goes for his wife, Erica Kirk. Her parents are both military personnel, and she was this weird orphan pastor over in Romania. Why is everybody in this situation a pastor? Because it's most likely a military situation and not just a bunch of people who are befriending each other.
Like you guys can just serve public interest here. Okay, I'm saying his last name right. Thomas Kimono was a man who was factually put away into prison for abuse
and M-wording tadpoles. And with all that being said, and everybody hit the like button, it's not just somebody wanting to be a pastor. Because you may say, what's wrong with somebody wanting to be a pastor, Mr. Lego? Why are you so angry at all these men from the military or military background or parents being in the military? Tyler Boyer's parents are in the military. Mike and McCoy's parents, everybody's parents are in the military. And you may just say, who cares? Mr. Lego, you're barking up the wrong tree. But after the intro, we are about to go down the rabbit hole of what they're using this pastor word in order to do. And it has a lot to do with you know what. Tadpole traffic lights. So let me hit you with the intro and let's get it. Hit a like button, hit a like button, hit a like button.
Everybody, everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. What? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. What? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid.
Drop popcorn emojis in the chat. Drop popcorn emojis in the chat. Drop popcorn emojis in the chat. Let's go.
What? Drop your city in the chat. What? Drop your city. What? Drop your city in the chat. Drop your city in the chat. What?
This guy right here is one of the guys in question.
Everybody.
While he's sitting around on the ground twerking like a bitch.
Everybody hit the like button. Yep. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Why did everybody hit the like button? Everybody hit the like button.
Just do it. Just do it.
So this whole thing, whether you know it or not, is it looks like, I'll just say it is an evangelical, in what is the word? Well, it's a church military psyop. I call it the ministry military psychological operation. I can't say evangelic. Somebody that's an evangelist. I can't say evangelist. I can't say it. All right, but it's a ministry military psychological operation. This whole thing, according to everything that we're looking at, all is about tadpoles. They are putting themselves in a position where they can get their hands on whoever it is that they want to by one, funneling money or laundering money through these 501c3 churchy type of, situations, to avoid taxes, because all you got to do is make your company a church, and then you have a tax benefit, or, your taxes are going to be totally different. I know evangelist, but I can't go past that. Whatever. But so, because we have paperwork, we have tax paperwork also that I'm going to show y'all that shows you that Charlie Kirk, we got so much. Let's I don't want to go too far. We got so much. Let's go. So much.
By pretending, how he did this was he pretended that his cat was lost. Okay. I'm going to read you an email.
All right. I got to back it up a little bit. Shout out to Candace. Candace said this yesterday. Shout out to her.
Kimono was a man who was factually put away into prison for abuse
and M-wording tadpoles.
Young girls. By pretending, how he did this was he pretended that his cat was lost. Okay. I'm going to read you an email that I received from one of his victims, who is now an adult, but she was just an eight-year-old child back in 1995. Here's what it reads in part, okay? I was 8 years old, living in Dana Point, California, when Thomas approached my friend and I to help him find his cat. He took us to a park behind my house and tried to molest me before I ran away. I was a key witness in his trial before he was sentenced to 8 years in prison.
Evangelical. Oh, so it's evangelical. Oh, okay. Thank you, alien dog. Evangelical. I thought of like evangelistical. Okay, thank you. I just said it. Evangelistical. Okay. All right.
He molested multiple girls between 1990 and 1995.
He blanked multiple girls. He blanked multiple. So this is not one situation, and it's spanned across 2 different counties. All right. So it's not evangelical. Now you're saying it differently, Susan. Evangelical. That don't even sound right. Evangelical. Forget whatever. So this guy was blanking tadpoles in 2 different communities all over not 2 different communities, throughout 2 different counties.
Now, you will notice that I am not saying allegedly. because he went to prison for this. So this is not, I'm not risking defamation here. She's not lying. We looked into this. In 1990, Camino was placed on probation for pleading no contest to lewd conduct involving children in Manhattan Beach. That's in Orange County. A few years later, he apparently went on a tear to try to lure young girls in an entirely different county. Okay.
An entire different county. So he's all over the place. Just walking around like, hey, excuse me, can you help me find my cat? That's literally what he was doing throughout 2 different counties. He'd just go in different neighborhoods in Orange County and another county, just walking around saying, hey, probably with a little leash. Hey, excuse me, have y'all seen a cat? I'm looking for my cat. And he'll get the girl to go over here, and next thing you know, Now, there's a reason why we're talking about this. If you have not watched yesterday's Candace show, this has a lot to do with Charlie Kirk, Rob McCoy, Mikey McCoy, and all them other people. Just keep watching.
Okay. Let's read an article regarding that sentencing. Here's the headline in the LA Times. This is from 1995, as you can see.
There we go. Evangelistical. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Tracy. See, y'all didn't know how to say it either. It's evangelistical. This is an evangelistical military psychological operation. Thank you, Tracy. See, y'all didn't know how to say it either. Damn it. Y'all was laughing at me. Y'all didn't even know how to say it either. It's called evangelistical. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy is the only one who knows how to say it.
See, the headline reads, child molester draws an 8-year term in prison. Thomas Michael Camino, who
8-year term in prison for an 8-year-old tadpole. Isn't that crazy? He did 8 years because he was messing, 4 plus 4 tadpoles.
Tried to lure girls with a lost cat story, gets maximum sentence requested by the parents of 3 victims. Listen to that, 3 victims, okay? The article goes on, it says, Thomas Michael Camino, 31 years old, of San Juan Capistrano, was convicted in May of a girl and trying to lure a dozen others into...
A dozen others, not 5 others, a dozen others. And just in case anybody's like, yo, what is this having to do with anything? Just hold on. Don't go nowhere. Actually, send this video to anybody that you know that has a kid. Send this video to anybody that you know that's in church Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and one of those little church people. Send it to them too. And they'll be able to understand, or they may be able to understand, that them going to church 8 times a week might be a bad thing. Because remember, I always say all pastors are gay. And I'm here to show you that all pastors are gay.
Sexual encounters by asking for help in finding his cat. Orange County Superior Court Commissioner Richard M. Aronson imposed the maximum term after the parents of 3 victims rose in sadness and anger to seek a stern punishment. The father of a 7-year-old girl who alluded that Camino said the cat ruse preyed on the girl's innocence. Camino's lawyer said his client, who had previously maintained his innocence, was now admitting his guilt. Attorney Danny Davis sought a shorter 6-year sentence, arguing that the maximum term might harm any chance for needing psychological counseling and rehabilitation. Camino terrorized a Dana Point neighborhood for more than 4 months last year.
So right here, this is very important right here. That's why I have it repeated. This man terrorized these areas for more than 4 months last year. Because in the video I'm about to show you, they're going to act like this stuff was going on 20-some years ago. No, this weirdo got out of prison and went right back to what he was doing. And he was doing it while working for Turning Point USA and or one of these Calvary Chapel churches. So I don't think it's Turning Point USA. Let me scratch that. But he was invited to work at one of these Calvary Chapel conglomerations, headed by who? Rob McCoy. And who is Rob McCoy? Charlie Kirk's pastor. And how does Charlie Kirk's pastor have so much power? Because he was a mayor of some damn city. And because he was a mayor, he has a lot of ways to just make allegations just go away. And that is the point.
For more than 4 months last year. More than 4 months last year.
So we're not talking about 20, 30 years ago. We're talking about last year.
Prosecutor said he approached young girls, lured them into secluded spots such as a riverbed and the basement of a house by asking them to find his cat. Now, I want you to remember that this happened across 2 counties, okay? I also want you to remember that we're speaking about 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds, right? We're talking about 3rd graders. Not his conviction. Despite having spent years in prison for these crimes, Rob McCoy.
Here we go. For anybody like, what are you talking about, Mr. Lego? We're getting there right now. Rob McCoy, who is Charlie Kirk's pastor.
The pastor who makes my skin crawl, struck up thereafter and maintained a long friendship with Thomas Camino across decades. Now, that's not exactly a problem per se. Rehabilitation is a thing. The problem comes in when Rob then decides that Camino should be involved in the Calvary Chapel Church.
There we go. Almost every Calvary Chapel church is like a bunch of them. Almost every one of these Calvary Chapel churches have had allegations of sexual misconduct on tadpoles. Calvary Chapel Church, if you're a part of one, leave it. If you know of one, stay away from it and warn other people about them. Calvary Chapel churches are all over the place, and it is literally part of this whole Charlie Kirk, TPS faith ministry mess. And it's full of weirdos. And here's the thing. They are bringing in weirdos to do certain things in the church. So you are not safe.
And more specifically, that Camino should have access to young children in a program called Home Fellowship, which put him inside the homes of children.
Just think about this. This man did 8 years of prison for this weirdo shit, right? And then he gets out of prison and goes right back to doing the weirdo shit back in 2024. And then this weirdo, Rob McCoy, comes in and wipes the slate clean, changes a whole bunch of things, and brings him into another Calvary church and acts like nothing happened. And guess what? It gets worse.
And he almost got away with it until some mothers went online, remembered exactly what had happened, and raised hell about it in 2022. Now, in response to this being discovered, Rob McCoy did not apologize. No. That's not how this works. Instead, you are about to see Rob basically employ tactics of psychological gaslighting. Maybe he learned this from his father.
So real quick, somebody just said, how is this allowed? Rob McCoy was the mayor. Rob McCoy has a lot of power in a lot of these cities. So depending on what city it is, see, the thing about it is, I said before that Rob McCoy, who is a piece of shit, I just want to say that. Rob McCoy, you are a piece of shit. I just want to say that. But Rob McCoy not only was mayor of some city, and he has a lot of, friends in high places. I believe his parents are military personnel, just like Erica Kirk's parents are military personnel. Because everybody's parents is military personnel, because everybody is like connected. See, the thing about it is the kids of all of these disgusting ass people, most of them were hanging out with Epstein. Those Epstein files come out, McCoys are going to be on there, Kirks are going to be on there, Fon's face are going to be on there, Cutlers are going to be on there. All these damn people's parents were most likely hanging out with Epstein. And that's how all these people are intertwined. Their parents set people up with other people So everybody would somewhat be on a hush hush on whatever it is that they're doing. It's kind of like a brother sisterhood in a weird way through their parents. So that's how they got away with it. How did Erica Kirk get away with all this Romanian angel shit? Because of her parents. Who do you think started Romanian Angels with Erica Kirk? Her damn mother. Her mother had her ass over in Romania at the age of 17, doing what she was doing with the damn orphans. Her mother did this. So these people's parents are very connected to the military, because that's what they was doing in Romania, right? Romania. They had orphans, and then they had this military base, and here comes the orphans. Go over to the military base, and we're not going to talk about what was going on over there because I don't want to get sued. But when it came out where Romania started finding out that this kid, hundreds of kids started going missing, because it wasn't just about, it was about organs, playing an organ. I don't want no problems. So to YouTube, I'm just going to say this for YouTube principles. You know how you play an organ? You play the organ in the church? Well, they were playing organ with the tadpoles, if you get what I'm saying. I don't want to get no problems with YouTube, so certain things you can't say. And one of the things you can't say is organ with an S. Okay? Hopefully y'all understand what I'm saying. So it was, you know how you harvest fruit? You know how you harvest fruit? You know how you get fruit together and then you harvest it and then you sell the fruit? Well, the tadpoles and playing the organ, in the church, and then the harvest, y'all say, put a 1 in chat, y'all understand what I'm saying? Because I can't say certain things. Okay? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Put a 1 in chat, y'all understand what I'm saying? All right. Tadpole, playing the organs, and then harvesting fruit. Y'all get what I'm saying? It was more of that than just selling meat, I'll say.
Did this for Navy intelligence, right? But he is going to host Thomas Camino for a podcast episode on the Bryce Eddy Show. He's going to vent his frustration at the people who are up in arms about the placement of this man in close confine with young children, without people recognizing that, okay, this guy has literally spent 8 years in prison for abuse. This is how Rob McCoy intros Thomas on his podcast. Take a listen.
I was so compelled because of the gossip and the slander of my friend who's going to join me, that I wanted him to tell his story. So 20 years ago, when we were over at Skyline, the introduction was, you walked in and you said, I need to talk to you and I got to share with you. And you were just pretty blunt. You just laid it out there. And you said, this is what it is. And you followed the procedures. You did what was required of you. And you and I have been friends.
You followed the procedures. You did what was required of you, meaning you went to prison and you got out of prison and you got out of, that's what the following procedures meant. His ass went to prison for some weirdo stuff and then got out of prison. That's the procedures he followed.
There's been no issues.
There have been no issues because you're not an 8-year-old girl, you fucking idiot piece of. All right, so hold on. I don't want y'all to not understand the concept.
Over at Skyline.
So let me back it up a little bit, because I don't want y'all to be like, yo, what?
Spent 8 years in prison for abuse. This is how Rob McCoy intros Thomas on his podcast. Take a listen.
I was so compelled because of the gossip and the slander of my friend who's going to join me, that I wanted him to tell his story. So 20 years ago, when we were over at Skyline, the introduction was, you walked in and you said, I need to talk to you and I got to share with you. And you were just pretty blunt. You just laid it out there. And you said, this is what it is. And You followed the procedures. You did what was required of you. And you and I have been friends. There's been no issues.
There have been no issues because you're not an 8-year-old girl, you fucking idiot piece of shit.
It's remarkable how you've served this community.
And I said that because this piece of shit is sitting here talking about me and you never had any issues. Yeah, because you're not an 8-year-old, you idiot.
Personally made the call.
He likes 8-year-old. Well, he likes tadpoles.
That they can make fun of us and they can claim whatever they want to claim, but I wanted your family protected. So I pulled that. I guess it was a advertisement for the home fellowship, which we do for all the home fellowships.
This is like early 90s, the nice little beach community in Orange.
No, it's not early 90s because you was doing the same thing in 2024, sir. You got out of prison and started doing the same shit. Stop it.
County, and I get accused of a crime that I did not commit. It's a falsely accused. It's an underage girl thing. And the premise of the case is there's a guy running around asking people about a lost cat. And this happens 15, 20 times over the course of 6-8 months, and the whole town is getting in an uproar over it. So they bring this girl and they film an interview. After I got involved in this whole thing, we didn't know this was part of the thing. They just spring this in trial. And it's this interview where the kid doesn't care what she's saying. She's not upset. She thinks she's waiting for her mom.
Listen to what he's saying. Listen how dismissive he is. The kid doesn't know what he's saying. The kid is just like this kid went through some traumatizing shit. Even if, so let's just say that this dude didn't do it and he was falsely accused, which he wasn't, because he's guilty for doing what he did because he went to prison. But what if he was innocent? That means somebody else did it. And for this piece of shit, other piece of shit, I would say, for him to say, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about, you're dismissing her experience with the person that did it. So this makes you a piece of shit either way. And this is another example of how this man is lying, because you're so indifferent. You're so like apathetic to what this child went through if you didn't do this to the child. So this proves that he did do this, along with him going to prison, which proves that he did do this also. But he still stays apathetic. This is pure evil, y'all. And Rob McCoy, the king of pure evil, is sitting in front of him, agreeing with everything he says.
In a dentist office, and then
everybody make sure to hit the like button. Everybody make sure to hit the like button. Everybody make sure to hit the like button.
And they just keep asking her leading question after leading question, and the kid's not giving them what they want. Eventually, they get her to say that there was some inappropriate touching on that. She sort of says it, sort of denies it, but it's all they needed.
You hear that, right? Yeah, sure. Sir, this is what is going on in the majority, and I'm saying this with my chest, the majority of the Calvary Chapel churches. I'll say the majority of the churches. I'm not going to nobody's church unless somebody dead. I'll say it again. I'm not going to nobody's church unless somebody is dead. There's nowhere in hell I would go to some nasty ass church and listen to some gay ass pastor tell me some dumb ass shit about something that I already know. I read my Bible at home. I don't need to go to no gay ass pastor and listen to him lie to me.
Now they can go out and arrest somebody, and they obviously don't care who they arrest. And the cops had lined up like 16 different guys of a certain look or whatever. And some of us, I was one of them, were under surveillance. And so they had.
Now they lined up 16 guys, right? Okay, maybe they got the wrong guy, right? No, watch what he says next.
Pictures of us. And they got enough people to say that looks like the guy. So they went and got me. Then they come over to my place with a search. They bring me in the search warrant over to my place.
Listen to why.
And they have 17 specific items that they're looking for. They get 11 of them, which sounds kind of bad until you read what it is.
Out of 17 items, they found 11 of them in his house. And he's like, well, that's just kind of bad. What? Out of 17 items, they found 11 items in your damn house. Are you serious?
I get arrested. So they throw me in jail, and the next day you're supposed to.
They throw me in jail. They always want to be victims, don't they? These are evangelistical people. I said it wrong. I said it. The evangelistical people, is that wrong? I can't stand these damn people.
To get a hearing for bail.
Let's pause for a second. So they throw you in jail. Next day, you get a hearing.
No, evangelical. That's it. These evangelical people.
For bail.
They're nice enough to do it on. Okay.
How long ago was this?
Like 28 years. 28 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
28 years ago. All right, go ahead.
So I'm just saying some of these details because this whole thing is a total sham. My lawyer comes to me and goes, they say they have footprints and forensic evidence, footprints and a palm.
Footprints, forensic evidence. That's it right there. Case closed. You can't sit here and say you didn't do it. They have forensic evidence, you dummy. Well, I didn't do it. I don't know. They just threw me in prison. They have footprints and forensic evidence, sir. What are you talking about?
Print of yours.
And I have forensic evidence that some of y'all have not hit the like button. Did y'all know that? I have forensic evidence, and I know which one of you did not hit the like button. So unless you want to go to jail, you might want to hit that like button. I got forensic evidence. Susan, I know you didn't hit the like button. I know what you did last summer. Hit the like button, y'all.
They lifted from a scene and they want to cut a deal with you. And they want to see if you want to do a plea bargain before we get to a pre-trial hearing. Jury comes back guilty, unbelievably guilty.
Unbelievably guilty.
I wind up.
Look. The jury comes back unbelievably guilty. He's literally making himself sound even worse. He brings up the forensic evidence. He brings up the lineup. He brings up the footprint. He brings up the unbelievably guilty. That means everybody in a jury was like, guilty. Get this nigga out of here.
Give me an 8-year sentence, didn't have a record, so you get did 4 years to change. So I did 1,536 days for a crime that I didn't commit.
But the jury was unbelievable. Man, let's keep going.
So it's just all one big conspiracy that involved 2 counties, neighborhoods filled with parents and children. A witness who still to this day remembers and emailed me to remind me about this, people who posted and said this is absurd and brought it forward into Rob's church and said it's absurd that you are allowing him to be around youth despite his record. Just incredible, okay? The person who took the stand still remembers and emailed me, but somehow he's the victim, and Rob wants that to come across. He's annoyed that this has come up, right?
Real quick, if you are against churches like me, drop no church gang in the chat. If you are against churches and gay pastors like me, drop no church gang in the chat. Drop no church gang in the chat. And let me show y'all something real quick. We're going to come back to this, but I think this is so important right here that I need to just interrupt this and play it because this is crazy.
Brian Ferentz went through all of TPUSA's tax documents and found that in just 2023, a large...
Whoa. Hold on. This is so explosive, y'all. I got to back it up. Y'all listen to this.
An auditor named Brian Ferentz went through all of TPUSA's tax documents and found that in just 2023, a large life insurance policy was taken out on Charlie Kirk. As you can see here, GGLF LLC paid for a split dollar life insurance policy for the president/CEO of Turning Point USA, aka Charlie Kirk.
We got him. We got him. Everybody drop. We got him in the chat. Drop. We got him in the chat. We got their ass. This is why they whacked Charlie Kirk.
Annual premiums for this policy are massive, $350,000 per year.
Per year.
Meaning that the death benefit for someone who is 31 years old and a non-smoker would be between $20 and $50 million. All of this information is public because TPUSA is a registered 501c3 nonprofit.
Drop we got them in the chat, y'all. Drop we got them in the chat. We got them. For anybody wondering why I keep making these Charlie Kirk videos, is it for money? Is it for views? Is it for attention? No, because I have a full understanding that we, not me, we have the ability to make shit happen. We have the ability to get all these motherfuckers locked up. You have the power, and I'm helping you have the power through me. We finna get these sons of bitches locked up. Rob McCoy and all these sons of bitches. All of them going to jail. We are so close to finding out who killed him and why they killed him.
So you can go ahead and look up this information for yourself. GGLF 2023 LLC is also owned by Charlie Kirk. So why would he have one business paying one of his other businesses for his own life insurance policy? Because it's a common tax strategy for high net worth individuals that comes with massive write-offs and deductions, making sure that the beneficiary would not have to pay a massive estate tax of up to 40%, meaning on a $10 million death benefit policy, that could trigger a $4 million tax bill. Remember, in this case, the payout is supposed to be a lot bigger than that. The timing of taking out such a large policy so close to the date he was executed is interesting, considering this was far past the time that he had nationally broken out and become a huge public figure with TPUSA. It could, of course, be because he got married and had 2 children and wanted to make sure that they were protected in case anything happened. But that's making an assumption that we know who received this money. Even though this tax information is public, how much the policy paid out and who the beneficiary is private. Now, one would assume it's Erica Kirk, but if it was somebody else, that would be quite interesting. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Now, that becomes even more interesting when put into the context of the fact that Calvary Chapel, full stop, has a long history of claims of intentionally putting pedophiles in positions of power, giving them access to children. And I'm not talking about institutions get big, okay? Like right now, if you even looked within public schools, you could find tons of instances, especially of like these young female teachers that go after high school kids, right? I'm talking about how would you feel if you kept learning that it was the principal at a school, like it kept being the principal of a school. This is by no means an exhaustive list, just to be clear, but I'm going to just tell you like a few of these, right? Florida Calvary Chapel in Pompano Beach. The founder was a pastor named Rob Coy, not McCoy, to be clear, Rob Coy, who was a former Las Vegas casino entertainment director turned religious leader for one of the Florida's biggest mega churches. And then he got accused of molesting a 4-year-old girl. Calvary Chapel of Woodlands. In 2024, the lead pastor was arrested after a sting operation into online sex abuse against.
I need y'all to keep notes of how many of these Calvary chapels are problematic. These are multiple Calvary chapels now. Remember, these are not just 1 or 2. She's going to keep listing them.
Children. Calvary Chapel Cary, the lead pastor, resigned amid allegations of incest with his own son, bullying, drug addiction, and the misuse of funds. Calvary Chapel in Orange County, the lead pastor named Mission Viejo was convicted of abusing 2 girls. Calvary Chapel Solid Rock, that's in Minnesota. Jason James Taylor was the lead pastor it's on the border of Wisconsin, by the way. He was among 6 people who were arrested following a solicitation of minors. It was a sting operation that was led by Minnesota's Human Trafficking Investigators Task Force. Then in Santa Ana, California, there's a The Fellowship of Calvary Chapels, which includes Idaho, the North County Chapel in Post Falls, Idaho, they're currently being sued by victims who accuse the church of intentionally concealing a known sexual predator in their midst. They knew his history. They hired him anyways. Anthony.
Y'all see this, right? It goes on and on and on and on and on. So how does all of this connect to Charlie Kirk? Well, it's simple. In my opinion, and we're going to keep going with this because she has more. Make sure to hit the like button. But the key that I'm trying to show you is they whacked Charlie Kirk in order to be able to take all of these Calvary Church people and to put them in a safer vessel. Because here's the thing. All of these Calvary churches or this Calvary church conglomerate is now getting put out there as, weirdos, right? So that means every Calvary church in the United States at some point is going to have a bad stain on them. So whenever you hear Calvary Church, you want to be like, get away from them. They be doing weird stuff, right? So the answer to this is to whack Charlie Kirk and to get rid of Charlie Kirk and to turn around and make Turning Point USA and morph the whole thing into Turning Point Faith. And now all of these Calvary Church people who have been absconded from different communities all over the country can now have a new home at Turning Point Faith. That's the whole point. That is what they're trying to do. That is the goal. That is what they're trying to do. Well, they're accomplishing it because Charlie Kirk is dead. In order to do all this, they had to get Charlie Kirk out the way so they can take over Charlie Kirk's whole business and morph it into some church shit. We looked up all of Charlie Kirk's records when Turning Point USA started, how Turning Point USA slowly came up, all of the tax documents. He has 4 entities: Turning Point Action, Turning Point Faith, Turning Point USA, and some other thing that was like Turning Point Funds or something like that. We looked all through it. Shout out to the Scooby-Doo mystery team. We have all the paperwork, right? Nothing in there says anything about church this, church that, faith this, faith that. It's just simply a business. And why is it 4 different companies instead of 1? Because allegedly multiple people, including Charlie Kirk, decided to make it where they'll get paid from this company and then get paid from this company, then get paid from this company. So it doesn't look like either person was making millions of dollars per month or whatever. Because, Turning Point USA altogether, Turning Point USA, not Turning Point Faith, Turning Point USA was making $80 million a year. Turning Point Faith was probably making another probably $50 million a year because of their geofencing and the donations and shit, right? So the thing about it is they had 4 companies instead of just 1 in order for everybody to get paid 4 times. So imagine getting paid 4 times a week instead of 1 time a week. But whenever somebody comes in the audits, they like, oh, okay, you only make $200,000 a year. No, you're making $200,000 a year 4 times. So a lot of these people, not Charlie Kirk, because like I said, Charlie Kirk's probably making a certain amount of money, like millions a month. But the other people, they were probably making $200,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $200,000 a year. Do y'all see what I'm saying? And this is, I'm not going to say it's money laundering, but according to what the auditor says, this is called dark money, because I don't want to accuse nobody of money laundering, but it's something called dark money. They put money in so many different places where it's almost impossible for an auditor to figure it all out. Next thing you know, everybody's getting paid $200,000 a year, four times instead of one. 4 times a week, 4 times a month, 4 times a year, whatever. But a lot of the people, because I can show y'all the paperwork, a lot of people was getting paid and even $200,000 a year. It was like, you get 200,000, you get 200,000, you get 200. And these niggas wasn't doing nothing. Well, they was doing something. They was fingering the damn students and shit, but they wasn't doing anything productive. All his friends was making 200,000 a year apiece. Wasn't doing shit. And this is the reason why I say Charlie Kirk had something to do with this stuff, at least a little bit. But they killed him, which means he was against some things and he had a moral compass. So I'm half and half with Charlie Kirk because they've been doing this shit since 2014, 2018. Tyler Boyer was this nasty dude for like at least 10 years. So Charlie Kirk knew about Tyler Boyer. The Hageman guy, he did 5 years in prison and he got out of prison and started back working with Turning Point USA. So Charlie Kirk knew some stuff, but he did have morals at the end. That's probably why they got rid of him. All right, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's get back to it. What are you doing? Hold on, y'all. Get this out of my face. Okay.
6 people who were arrested following a solicitation of minors. It was a sting operation that was led by Minnesota's human trafficking investigators.
Y'all hear that, right? Whole investigations on all these damn people.
Addiction and the misuse of funds. Calvary Chapel in Orange County, the lead pastor named Mission Viejo was convicted of abusing 2 girls. Calvary Chapel Solid Rock, that's in Minnesota, Jason James.
This is crazy, y'all. This is the reason why they needed Turning Point Faith, because they taking all these little nasty son of a bitches and they putting them over in Turning Point Faith and starting all over again. Now you can't find the people.
James Taylor was the lead pastor it's on the border of Wisconsin, by the way. He was among 6 people who were arrested following a solicitation of minors. It was a sting operation that was led by Minnesota's human trafficking investigators task force. Then in Santa Ana, California, there's a fellowship of Calvary Chapels, which includes Idaho, the North County Chapel in Post Falls, Idaho. They're currently being sued by victims who accuse the church of intentionally concealing a known sexual predator in their midst. They knew his history. They hired him anyways, Anthony Iglesias, and he's currently serving time. He was found guilty in Idaho State Correctional Facility for his crimes. The lawsuit alleges that when the victim's parents went to the lead pastor, Reverend Robert Davis, to discuss their son's sexual abuse, Davis acknowledged to them, and again, this is what their lawsuit is alleging, that he knew of Iglesias' history. And he stated words to the effect of, yeah, we knew. That's why we pulled him out of Thailand. Now, Thailand, by the way, was some orphanage program.
Oh, there we go. Orphanage program. That's what I'm about to get to.
That they were running. Orphanages everywhere. For some reason, these churches acknowledged to them, and again, this is what their lawsuit is alleging, that he knew of Iglesias' history. And he stated words to the effect of, yeah, we knew. That's why we pulled him out of Thailand. Now, Thailand, by the way, was some orphanage program that they were running. Orphanages everywhere. For some reason, these churches are getting involved in orphanages, and then there's a lot of these abuse scandals. Now,
so let's start with the orphanages real quick. We're going to come back to this, but now let's talk about the orphanages. Put a 1 in the chat if you are completely familiar with Erica Kirk's orphanage thing in Romania. We don't have to get back into that. We don't talk about that, but put a 1 in the chat if you are familiar with the orphanage that was going on in Romania with Erica Kirk. We're not going to get on that, but I'm trying to show y'all how all of these weirdos are doing the same thing. That's why I call it the orphan play. Check this out. Where's it at? Where's it at? Is it this one? Hold on. I believe this is this.
Epstein. I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not every.
Hold on, let me see something. Oh shit, it's not even it. Actually, where the hell is the video? Oh, I haven't sent it to myself yet. Boom, here it is. All right. Hold on, y'all. I haven't sent the video to my computer yet. That's what it was. I was like, where the hell is the video? Boom. All right. So we have another member of TPUSA starting a damn orphanage. And I'm showing y'all the connection and the play that they all are running. It's the same damn thing. So I'm sending this to my computer. But while we wait for that, let me show you this. Some of y'all seen this already, but I'm just reminding y'all of how disgusting these damn people are and how all of them are doing the same shit. So can y'all read this? If not, I'll read it for y'all. It says, Erica Kirk recently announced a groundbreaking $175 million contract to launch the Kirk Academy of Hope in Chicago, intended as the city's first ever boarding school for who? For who? Orphans. Here we go again. The orphan play. Why is all these damn people so worried about some damn orphans? This broad won't even stay at home and be there for her own damn kids. Every time you turn around, this broad is running around on a podcast or on somebody's stage. This bitch ain't even thinking about her own goddamn kids, but she wants to worry about some damn orphans. Worry about your own goddamn kids, lady. The large-scale initiative is designed to provide comprehensive support, including education, housing, and mentorship, and of course, trafficking. I just added that to it. But you bitch, how about you go home and take care of your own damn kids? Why aren't you worrying about everybody else's kids? Always worrying about the damn orphans. What about your kids? Huh? All right. Speaking of orphans,
moved to Texas at a young age and joined the military.
All right. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all are familiar with this guy. This is the guy that was doing the whatever with the brown shirt on and then was down there baking a cake with Charlie Kirk while he was bleeding to death. All right. So this is the dude, Rick Cutler. Guess what? He's in Guatemala doing what? An orphanage. And he's a pastor. He's a pastor over an orphanage in a third world country. Oh, wow. Just like everybody else is? Wow.
Long Beach, Florida. Moved to Texas at a young age and joined the military just a little bit outside of high school. I became a police officer for the city of Irving in 1990. I spent 30 years at the city of Irving and approximately 22 years on the SWAT team. The Lord led me in 2019 to retire.
The Lord let me. They always say the Lord is leading them to some shit, right? Do y'all see what I'm saying? Or am I just crazy? Every last one of these sons of bitches are going to random ass countries, opening up orphanages, and out of nowhere, there are ministers and damn evangelists and shit. Bro, you are a security guard that was in the damn military. Why are you out of nowhere an evangelist with some goddamn orphans? What are you doing?
And to go into full-time missions and ministry outside of the United States. And I moved to Guatemala with an organization in natural disaster and relief.
See, let me tell y'all something about natural disasters and relief. Are y'all familiar with what's going on in Ukraine? See, when another country bombs Ukraine, Russia, there's a side effect that happens. There's no law. There's no police because they're officially at war. See, Ukraine is a huge hub for running tadpoles through traffic lights, just like Russia is. But Russia bombed Ukraine. What if I said Russia bombed Ukraine or is at war with Ukraine in order to remove the laws from Ukraine so everybody in Ukraine can traffic easier because there's no laws? It's a lawless country right now because they're in a state of war. So they go to these countries as disaster relief. Think about it. He said he's there for disaster relief. That's how they come in and act like, hey, I see y'all, your building blew up. Hey, I know y'all ain't got no police. You don't have no food. Everybody's an orphan because your mom just got blew up. Come with me and let us put you in this traffic. And nobody can stop them because there's no laws anymore because they are officially in a state of war. And you are the disaster prevention team. See, I understand what disaster prevention is. It's another government loophole where you can do whatever you want to do under the guard of disaster prevention. It's an actual thing. If you are disaster prevention, you can do what the hell you want to do and can't nobody talk to you about nothing because you are there to prevent or either repair disaster. Listen to what he said.
And I moved to Guatemala with an organization in natural disaster and relief.
See, it's natural disaster relief. Another nonprofit, another umbrella, another scapegoat, another way to get around and circumvent the law. This is what they do.
Staff, my name is Rick Cutler, and I'm applying for the Irish Relief Leadership School in Puerto Rico. And
now this nigga in Puerto Rico. Y'all see this shit? Now he in damn Puerto Rico. What are you doing? Because what happens is once you've gotten whatever it is you wanted out of Guatemala, now it's time to move and go to another country that you can turn around and take advantage of. Who the hell goes from Guatemala, sets up shop, does whatever he does over there, and then turns around and say, you know what? I think I'm going to go all the way to Puerto Rico and open up shop over there. What? You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Staff, my name is Rick Cutler, and I'm applying for the Irish Relief Leadership School.
You hear it? Irish Relief. Relief. Disaster relief. And then now is leadership school. You see how all these words are coming together? Relief, leadership, school. He's going to say pastor. He's going to be an evangelist also. This is how they come in and take all of their tadpoles. And then they go to another country.
In Puerto Rico and in finishing up in Belize. I want to attend
Finishing up in Belize. See, they have to operate in different places because they can't stay in one place for too long because kids start going missing. And next thing you know, you don't want to start some shit with the country. So you do what you got to do, and then you get the hell up out of there and go to the next place.
School so I can better prepare myself for the nations. I believe Jesus has called each and every one of us to serve the kingdom in our own special way. He has created us for a specific purpose, and I do believe that in the next chapter of my life that this purpose has been revealed. I'm finishing a career in law enforcement after 33 or 30 years of serving.
This man spent 30 years in the military, and he wants to come out of the military and go to damn Guatemala just for a couple months, and then go to Puerto Rico just for a couple months, and then go to Belize just for a couple months, all for the orphans? Who would want to live like that after they retire from the military? When you retire from the military, do you want some bunch of random ass orphans run around you that don't listen to shit you say? Because you just some random ass white man that just came in and said, "Hey, orphans, I'm here to help you." And get your ass up out of here. They throwing shit at them. You know, kids being kids. Who the hell wants to go to a third world country and take care of some orphans as a random ass white man? Sir, who are you? Who retires like that? When you retire, you want to chill out. But guess what? There's money in organs. There's money in running tadpoles through traffic lights. There's money in all of this. There's money in tadpoles. He's not doing this for a damn hobby.
My community and my nation as a soldier in the United States Army as a military police officer, and as a police officer in the city of Irving as a patrolman. And
nigga leave Irving, Texas to go to damn Guatemala. And what the hell?
And a SWAT member and a SWAT team leader and a SWAT supervisor over and combined in the past 30 years. And I know it's time for me in this next chapter of my life to not only serve a community for the kingdom.
That's Charlie. He's alive. And one of the reasons why he had such courage is, what are they going to threaten him with? Heaven?
Yeah, right.
And had God come to Charlie, I believe this wholeheartedly, if God had come to Charlie and had a personal conversation and said, "Charlie, you know, Erica's going to be a widow for a few years, but..."
Rob, shut your stupid ass up. Shut your fat face, pale face ass up, you piece of shit. I want to say this. This video most likely is going to be demonetized because I was rushing, and some of the things that Candace Owens said, she said the M word a couple times. She said the T word a couple times. And I didn't know she was going to say it because I was rushing. So there's a possibility that this video is going to get demonetized. So with all that being said, if y'all love what I'm doing, if y'all would love to support the work, please drop a Cash App if you want to. You don't have to. At $AARON 1000, $AARON 1000, AARON 1000. The link is in the chat. The link is under this video. It would really help because the most annoying thing in the world is us going down these rabbit holes, and I turn around and I look up and demonetized. My last video got demonetized, and it's all good. And I'm not complaining because this is work that needs to be done. It's a bigger thing that we're after, right? So I'm not going to stop going down this rabbit hole. But if you do see what I'm doing and you would like to support, make sure to support by buying one of my card games. Thanksgiving is coming up, and it's imperative for you to, I'm not going to say imperative, but it would be really not just fun, but responsible to bring a card game like this to your family members during Thanksgiving, knowing that none of these damn people get along with each other and want to be around each other. But this will make the experience a lot more fun, a lot more educational, and somebody might give somebody a hug that they didn't mess with last year. So buy my card games, and or Cash App is $AARON 1000. All right, the link is in the chat, and for the card game, and the link to card games is under this video, and the link to the Cash App is under the chat also. Hold on, somebody said All right, let's go.
Hardly. If God had come to Charlie and had a personal conversation and said, Charlie, Erica's going to be a widow for a few years before the Lord, takes her home because life is a dash. Your children aren't going to be fatherless because I'll be a father to the fatherless. But I'm going to take you home, and from your death, 100 people are going to come to Christ. Charlie would say, okay.
What?
Wow. Yeah. Who would have thought this many? I mean, this is unbelievable.
That's right. Yeah, it's possible. I don't know the future, but it's possible that Charlie's
Look at Frank Turk's punk ass looking like a dead man over there.
impact
Punk
will be
ass
greater
Frank
now
Turk.
than if he had
I mean,
lived.
this is unbelievable.
That's right. Yeah, it's
Punk ass Mikey McCoy.
possible.
Fucking pale faced, dead looking ass.
I don't know the future, but it's possible that Charlie's impact will be greater now than if he had lived.
Yeah.
Duh. That's why y'all killed him.
And I want to conclude with this because this is one of the
Go
things
ahead.
that frustrated me, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know the future, but it's possible.
He like, yeah. I'm about to take over all this shit. Mikey McCoy was like, yeah, this is good. I like this. Yeah. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Yeah.
Possible that
Look at him.
Charlie's
Yeah.
impact
Look like he on a damn a hair mousse commercial.
will be greater now than if he had lived.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get his ass up out of here. Yeah. So I can take over all this shit. Yeah. With my mousse in my hair. Yeah. With my little pale face. Yeah.
I want to conclude with this because this is one of the
Go
things
ahead.
that frustrated me, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie had a
When everything happened, my phone died.
Look at this dumb shit. I'm sorry. I think Erica Kirk is a full-blown idiot. Every time this dumb broad opens her mouth, she says something else stupid. Like, Charlie, why did you what made you get with this airhead? Listen to this dumb broad.
It became a black hole. I just didn't turn it on for weeks on end.
So she said when they killed Charlie Kirk, she said she turned her phone off for a week. Listen to this. So these lying ass broads.
It happened. My phone died. It became a black hole. I just didn't turn it on for weeks on end.
So this lying ass broad says she hasn't turned on her phone for weeks on end. But I want you to look at the dates. September 13th, September 24th, September 27th, September 22nd. The next one, September 28th, she's filming her daughter. And there's nothing wrong with filming your daughter, but stop lying, you lying ass broad. All right. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Let's get back to Candace. I want to show y'all something real quick. This is what we have put together. Allie, shout out to Allie. She put this together. So these are all of the people in question. Just in case you are wondering who all the characters are, just in case you want to, do your own thing and figure all this stuff out on your own, you can simply screenshot this, and this will help you keep up with all of these piece of shit characters. All right. So you got Frank Turek, you have the amazing piece of shit Mikey McCoy, you have Brian and Terrell Farnsworth, who were the piece of shit cameraman. You have Andrew Kovic, who's a piece of shit producer that literally took over the Charlie Kirk show and still names it the Charlie Kirk show. He can't even start his own podcast because he's a bitch. Then you got Rick Cutler. Of course, he's over in Guatemala blanking orphans. Then you got Pastor Rob McCoy, dumbass at the bottom. And you have Mikey McCoy's wife. And you have Josh Trifalt. He's the senior director of major gifts at Turning Point USA. And there's some other people on here that I don't even know myself. But this is an example of how much work we are putting into this situation. So drop heart emojis for our girl, Allie, for putting this together. So drop heart emojis right now for Allie for putting something like this together, because she is super awesome. And she made it red, which matches my whole decor of my show. So drop heart emojis in the chat for Allie. All right. Let's get back to the orphan play.
Calvary Chapel pastor in Virginia who pled guilty to child sex abuse. The former Calvary pastor's name was Doug DeAndrea. He is currently serving time in jail in Virginia on multiple charges related to child sex abuse. There's the Calvary Chapel in Fort Lauderdale in 2019. This is not the lead pastor, but an employee who was arrested after authorities say they found numerous downloaded images and videos of child pornography in his home computer. There is the Calvary Chapel in North Thurston, Oregon, and this one's a doozy, okay?
Y'all make sure to contribute to the channel via Cash App, via Super Chat, via Buy My Car Game, because a lot of the things Candace is saying, and I'm just letting it go instead of beeping everything out, because I wouldn't have been able to get everything done on time. So I was just like, all right, forget it, because this information is so pertinent. I just had to put it out. So shout out to Lindsay Ray, XLDS member from SLC UT. I have credible info I want to share with you, but I want to do it privately. Please let me know. Just send me a DM. Just follow me. So everybody watching, hold on real quick, because a lot of y'all want to send me information. Look at the bottom of the screen. You'll see my Instagram page. Go follow me on Instagram right now. Everybody take a second to follow me on Instagram. Put a 1 in the chat if you're already following me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Send me a DM. The link to my Instagram, the link to my Cash App, both of them are down here. Go follow me on Instagram right now. And if it's something you want to send me, just send it to my Instagram and I'll look it up. I try to clear out everything daily, because it's so much stuff going on where I'm in my DM. So I will see your message if you DM me. I promise you. I'll get to it as soon as possible. Shout out to Scott. Thank you so much for the $10 Cash App. Appreciate you. I appreciate that. All right. Hello, sir. What's going on, William? Thank you so much for the super chat. Hello, sir. So I'm sure you noticed Officer Tumid, yes, is freaking out on anyone that asks question about TPUSA. Do you think he may be involved? No, he is not involved. He is just a cornball, butterball turkey. He's one of those dudes that probably got beat up in school, and now he became an officer, and a lot of these officers are cornballs, and they want to, establish some type of power. Next thing you know, boom, he's officer tater tot. But no, he's just a little fat little kid that probably couldn't get no pussy when he was young. So now he's running around saying goofy shit. But I like to ignore cornballs. So every now and then I might say something about one of these cornballs, but I don't want to talk about the little fat little Teletubby dude, because I don't care, right? Because the thing about it is, the more you ignore these cornballs, they'll at some point fade away. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have nothing to say to him. Yeah, but he's a dork, so I ain't got nothing to say to him. Shout out to Gene Sweeney. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And to the dork, if you see this, I don't have no beef with you. I just think you're a dork. That's it. Don't want to fight you. Don't want to debate with you. I don't care nothing about you. I just think you're a dork and you're a cornball and you are a raccoon. I'm sorry. You're a raccoon that is getting paid from IHOP. And because of that, I'll do away with you and I don't even want to talk to you. I think you're also a piece of shit. So, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to engage with you. I don't want to fight you. It's not even that I don't like you. I don't respect you. I don't respect you enough to have a conversation with you. So it's not that I don't like you. I just don't respect you because you are a raccoon. You are an embarrassment to black people, you butterball turkey. So to answer your question of that.
The lead pastor was this guy, Jeffrey Keon Ziz. He confessed to sexual misconduct, which involved his 3 daughters over a period of 2 years. The incestuous abuse started when the daughter was 11. He went to prison for 11 months. And then when he got out, he murdered an 80-year-old and poured concrete, 82-year-old. And then he was supposed to be her handyman. And then he murdered her and poured concrete over her body to hide the body.
Damn.
Okay. Again, we're not even scratching the surface here. This is by no means a definitive list. I could go on and on. But I have to tell you that this does not feel organic to me, okay? Yes, institutions are corruptible, churches are corruptible, but this feels to me like something a bit more sinister and a bit more organized. It makes me think of the notorious guy, I've covered this in the past. It's why I did not cover the Diddy case. Everyone thought he was insane. Remember, he shot up the Trump Miami Doral. He didn't kill anyone. But then when he sat down, he said the feds are running a cartel operation. And when people get into trouble, this is what he alleged before anybody knew anything about Diddy. He said, I was one of Diddy's sex slaves. And he said, I was Diddy and Cassie's sex slave.
And, I talked about the Diddy case. And if y'all watch me in the Diddy situation, it wasn't just about Diddy. It was about the same thing with the trafficking of the tadpole traffic lights thing. So same thing.
Relevant to leading up to what he's doing now with Turning Point USA, I would say it's very relevant. Potter's Field is an area up in Whitefish, Montana, and the Calvary Church Association.
Calvary Church Association, there we go again, is a whole conglomerate of weirdos.
Funded a ministry which came to be known as Potter's Fields Ministries. Right up there, they have a hunting ground. They have a camp for kids. They have a student program known as Ignite. They even have like a burger chain. I mean, a lot of money was flowing up there. And in 2019, the ministry came under a scandal with reports of financial abuse, psychological abuse. Essentially, the Calvary Chapel church members were funding the ministry, believing that money was going to help and feed and clothe children in Uganda, in Cambodia, in Costa Rica, in Guatemala. But apparently it wasn't actually going there, okay? They thought their money was going to train students that were going to become missionaries worldwide, but no one really exactly knew where the money was going. And this is interesting because they specifically ran a student program called Ignite. And one of those students wound up blowing the whistle on what she alleges was intentional financial fraud. That student's name was Kenzie Kinney, okay? She handled Potter's Fields finances. And here's what
Hope y'all keeping up. This woman is handling their finances. Watch what she finds going on in their finances. This is important.
She said verbatim about how this not-for-profit would pretend that they were feeding tons of kids worldwide, but actually they were having her engage in fraudulent activity. Allegedly. She said, quote, this would be a very...
Told y'all, they're always funneling tadpole stuff. They're always... We want to help the kids. We want to help the kids. Do we want to help the orphans? Okay. Orphans. Okay. That's what all these damn weirdos are doing. They want access, to tadpoles.
Very high guesstimate of how many kids were actually in this program. I would say maybe like 500. And that would be between all 5 countries, Kinney said. Kinney added that the Rosells, that's the family that was running this program, would show videos with hundreds of children being fed during their presentations in order to solicit donations from Calvary church members, but that those images were from infrequent, larger pastor conferences. She remembered working with about 20 kids on a weekly basis during her time in the program. She also said that Potter's field workers were told to Photoshop old letters from kids in the program, with the altered letters being sent out to donors.
Y'all hear that, right? Fraud. pure fraud. And speaking of fraud, as we speak, all of us are scrambling around trying to see what is going on with Rob McCoy. Do y'all know that as of like, I would say 2 hours ago, Rob McCoy has been mysteriously deleting all of his sermons off of YouTube? I wonder why. Because this man has been saying all kinds of bullshit. Because most of y'all have never watched one of his boring ass sermons, but he's not talking about God when he's up there. This idiot is just up there talking about his personal life. That's all he does. Hey, yeah, I went to IHOP and I was over there doing this, and then I came back, I met this guy. Sir, what does this have to do with the Bible? All this idiot does is stand up there and babble about his personal life. So because he was babbling about his personal life, he incriminated himself because he's stupid. So now he's literally deleting all of his sermons because he doesn't remember what he said in the sermons, because they're not sermons. He's just up there babbling about his personal life and all his friends and all the people he knows. So a lot of the things that he said are now incriminating him. So now we're scrambling around trying to download his sermons before he gets rid of them, because now his sermons are now evidence. This is a fact going on right now.
She said, quote, "We would always have to cut off the dates so that they wouldn't know how old the photos were. And we just photocopy hundreds of them and then just trifold them all and mail them out, because we mail out these little things like, thanks again for your support. And here is, a thing from your prayer child. They wrote you a letter." Amidst the scandal, Potter's Fields Ministry announced that they were shutting down. They shut down in 2019, and they brought in Pastor Rob McCoy as a CFO to help steer the ship of their finances. And by steering the ship,
y'all see that, right? Rob McCoy again. Rob McCoy comes in and gets rid of everything all over again. That is his specialty. Rob McCoy is literally the cleaner. He comes in and cleans everything up and makes everything go away. Got them. Damn, Rob McCoy all over again.
I mean that the money was transferred into his church. That was done above board. They notified the people that that was what was going to happen with the finances. But it becomes increasingly interesting when I keep insisting to you guys that there was something about Turning Point USA Faith that to me reads like an infiltration of sorts, okay? That is what it looks like to me. Something dramatically changed. The organization that was about free markets and capitalism suddenly became faith. And you have these pastors, and they feel sleazy to me. They just do. Okay, they're not honest. We have caught Rob McCoy in multiple lies, so I don't ship him as a person that you would want stewarding your faith. And when you add in the fact that Calvary Chapel was the chief offender, okay, these churches, when they were all getting on stage for Operation Mocking Pastor, where they were all saying the same thing about me and Tucker Carlson, they were the number one offenders. I am not kidding. You start to ask yourself, what is guiding the Calvary Chapel, right? What is behind this? Do you really think this is all just accidental? Their obsession with Christian Zionism? Jack Hibbs among them. We mentioned him yesterday, his brother Butch Hibbs, who was just everywhere before and after Charlie's assassination. There's like footage of him, which I don't think we have for today. I think we did pull it, but I didn't ask you to pull it for right now. And you ask yourself, I got emails from people saying that Pastor Hibbs, Jack Hibbs, has gone like mask down. He seems to be coming undone. He's hosting 5 a.m. calls against me and Tucker Carlson, and they're realizing, am I in a church or did I sign up for something completely different? The history, the CIA implications of who exactly started the Calvary Chapel, which kind of became the offshoot of the hippies movement. Chuck Smith is his name, CIA character that was close to him. The implications here, when you look at all of the military characters that are involved, really have me asking a lot of questions. You want to know who was also asking a lot of questions? Charlie Kirk was asking a lot of questions towards the end of his life, right? He was asking questions, hitting hard about Jeffrey Epstein on his show. He was exasperated at one point, saying, basically, I've covered this, I'm upset about this. And you could sense that from high up, he was being told to stop speaking about Jeffrey Epstein, and he was pushing back on that. He then tells Tucker Carlson to go max against Jeffrey Epstein. For whatever reason, this guy, similar to these characters, had a history. He had been convicted, and yet he was still welcomed into every circle. He still is welcome into every circle. An astounding cover-up. All of this, again, the truest victims being the children, okay? We are
right there, the children. I'm so glad Candace sees that this is bigger than politics, because a lot of people have been thinking that I'm getting into politics. No, I'm doing the same exact thing that I always did. The same thing I did with Diddy. The same thing I did with Diddy. This is about children. Diddy, well, women and children. Diddy was accused of what? Traffic lights. That's why he's in prison. It wasn't about all this other stuff. It was about traffic lights. So the same thing about this. I'm about women, protecting women and children from these pieces of shit.
a nation.
Oh, hold on. Let me show y'all something else. I just found the tax information. Here it is right here. Y'all check this out. So right here, this is what I was talking to y'all about earlier. Put a 1 in the chat, y'all can see my screen. Put a 1 in the chat, y'all can see my screen clearly. I just want to make sure. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can see my screen. I just want to make sure y'all can see it. Is it showing up clearly? Can y'all put a 1 in the chat? Okay. All right, cool. I just want to make sure. All right, so this right here is one of the 4 entities that Charlie Kirk and these other members were getting paid from. So this is kind of like how they were playing with money, because I don't want to say the word laundering because I don't want to get sued, because I don't have proof that it's laundering. So it's not laundering. It's playing with money. I'll say that. So Charlie Kirk, president, CEO, $289,000 plus another $99,000 plus another $3,600. So let's keep going. As you can see, you got Dan Flood. So I want y'all to think about this. Dan Flood is a manager. Why in the hell is Dan Flood getting paid about the same amount of money as the CEO of the damn company? Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't make no sense. But as you can see, everybody is getting paid nicely because these are Charlie Kirk's homeboys. Justin Olsen, $200,000 a year. Marina, I don't know who that is. Alexander. Here goes Tyler Bauer. Tyler Bauer, he got demoted because he's so stupid. He's only getting paid $150,000 plus $79,000, which is almost $200,000. Well, was past $200,000. But you see, everybody's getting paid about $200,000. $200,000. This is how they were screwed around. And I don't know if everybody was getting paid 4 times, but this is what I'm saying, how they was getting paid 4 times, because this is just one of them. Let's see. Then Holtz Hosberg, I don't know who that is. Veronica, she's getting paid $139. But like I said, we've dug so deep where they can't hide a damn thing from us. They can't hide nothing from us. When I say we're going to get these people locked up, I mean it. And one of us or all of us, hold on, let's see. Somebody said, let's see. What is this? Ali just said, check my DM. This is 2024. There we go. This is what I was looking for. Oh, this is different. Hold on, y'all. I just got some more information. Hold up. All right, so this is 2024. And this is proof that they can't hide from us. We got all their asses on the ropes. So this is proof that we ain't just gossiping. This ain't no gossip channel. We are hunters. We hunting these motherfuckers. We got one of them erasing all of their sermons off their YouTube channel. So they running. We in the woods chasing their asses like we the damn predator, but they the actual predators. It's like the predators chasing the predator. We just different predators. Damn pieces of shit. All right, check this out. All right, so all right. This right here. Wait. No, this is the same thing. Sorry, y'all. Wrong one. Remove this. Here we go. All right, so this is it right here. Okay, so right now, this is 2024. Revenue 84,988,860. John, whoever, Charlie Kirk. So John, whoever this John person is, he's getting paid $400,000 a year plus 35,000 extra. Charlie Kirk, 285. Dan Flood, 269, 264. Okay. All right. So this is 2024. All right. So I got some more stuff to share with y'all. Let me keep playing this and I'll get back to that.
That is ruled by perverts. We are. And it looks like they created Hollywood. And
hold on. Let me back up a little bit. Candace is spitting right here.
Charlie Kirk was asking a lot of questions towards the end of his life, right? He was asking questions, hitting hard about Jeffrey Epstein on his show. He was exasperated at one point, saying, basically, I've covered this. I'm upset about this. And you could sense that from high up, he was being told to stop speaking about Jeffrey Epstein. And he was pushing back on that. He then tells Tucker Carlson to go max against Jeffrey Epstein. For whatever reason, this guy, similar to these characters, had a history. He had been convicted, and yet he was still welcomed into every circle. He still is welcome into every circle. An astounding cover-up. All of this, again, the truest victims being the children, okay? We are a nation that is ruled by perverts. We are. And it looks like they created Hollywood and fashion and movies as a means to traffic individuals, right? No one would blink twice. If you're trafficking individuals, a bunch of women come in and they're in part of a fashion campaign, a part of fashion shows. Jeffrey Epstein had his financial tentacles involved in modeling agencies, right? He was involved in the movie agencies. Anywhere that you could cast people, that's where his tentacles were. And I'm not feeling good about these churches. I got to tell you that right now. I'm not feeling good about all of the Christian Zios that they are sending out, defend, to say, don't look anywhere. Don't pay attention to anything Candace is saying. I know she's presenting facts, but let's just focus on her dream. Try to make her like a crazy person. Something very sinister is going on. And I am telling you, the Charlie Kirk case is like the undoing of everything.
Yeah.
I told you Charlie was hitting at the Ukraine stuff. That was a part of my timeline. That's when you really start to see Turning Point Faith ratchet up, is when Charlie is going day in and day out, speaking about what goes on in Ukraine, speaking about the trafficking of kids in Ukraine. He's just tweeting every day about that stuff.
Told y'all.
Turning Point Faith seems to just kind of.
Remember, I was just saying about Ukraine? I'm telling y'all. Hold on. I got some more stuff about Ukraine right here. It just goes on and on and on and on. Wife, she is connected to Russians and Ukrainians. Charlie Kirk was against the U.S. helping Ukraine.
Correct.
And Ukraine may or may not have hated Charlie Kirk. And Mike and McCoy, remember how he just stormed off and acted like he didn't care about what just happened to Charlie Kirk? There's a possibility, say he ain't had nothing to do with it. There's still a possibility that he hates how Charlie did his wife's people. You know, because you're going to take your wife's side before anybody, you know? Because Mikey McCoy's wife is Ukrainian, or her parents, one of her parents is Ukrainian and her other parent is Russian. So if your wife is sitting around like, I just don't understand, Ukrainian people, we're dying, these are my people, and he's sitting there with his suit on, making all that money, talking all this mess about my people. Why can't he help my people, Mikey? What is this? This is your friend. How dare he say something like that, right? those words stay in your ear as a husband. You're like, it's okay. I got you. I understand. I'm just saying, Mikey, these are my people. And she starts crying and stuff. I get it. My dad is Ukrainian. What is it? And then he's like, I get it. I'll talk to him, right? The next thing you know, this happens. Not saying that he or she has something to do with it. I can easily see Mikey being extremely indifferent about Charlie dying due to the fact that he's taking his wife's side, and to a certain degree, Charlie was against Mike's wife's people, family, and maybe her family got hurt over there. So then that's the Ukrainian side. Mikey McCoy's other parent is Russian. Now here's a connection to the Russian side. And Allie, you can jump into whatever where you want to.
Mhm.
Mikey McCoy's wife, not Mikey McCoy. Mikey McCoy's wife's parent is Russian and Ukrainian. Guess who else is Russian in Turning Point USA? Tyler Boyer.
Yep.
Tyler Boyer is Russian. You start looking around, and Allie, we got KGB operatives.
The KGB, it handled foreign spying, counterintelligence, and domestic surveillance.
Tyler Boyer has connections with ex-KGB. Mikey's wife has connections with Ukraine and the KGB. And the significance to all of this is that Ukraine, as well as Russia, especially Ukraine, is famous and popular for sex trafficking. So let me read this real quick for y'all. KGB. And the significance to so right here. In 2008, Ukraine was a source, transit, and destination company for men, women, and children blanked transnationally for the purpose of commercial blank exploitation and forced labor. Ukrainian women were blanked to Russia, Poland, the Czech Republic, Turkey, Germany, United Kingdom, and United States, and Italy, and Denmark, the United Arab Emirates, Kyrgyzstan, Greece, Sweden, Spain, Croatia, Hungary, Slavic Republic, Cyprus, the Netherlands, Belarus, I don't know what that is, Japan, Norway, South Korea, and Bahrain, whatever that is. This is what I'm saying, y'all. This is $1 billion industry. $1 billion industry. And Turning Point Faith is a part of that $1 billion industry because of all of the Ukrainian and Russian ties of the people that work in TPS Faith. The majority of Ukrainian labor blanking victims were men exploited in Russia, the Czech Republic, and Poland, primarily forced to work as construction laborers. So men be running through traffic lights also. This is slavery, literally. Sailors and factory and agricultural workers. There were indications Ukraine is a destination for people from neighboring countries blanked for forced labor and blank exploitation. In addition, blanking occurred within Ukraine. Men and women were blanked within the country for the purpose of labor exploitation. Bro, this is so deep. It is crazy. Back to Candace.
Like in a way that I've never seen, right? All of these characters who have very shady backgrounds, including Sean Foyt. There's like an article from September 30th talking about the mismanagement of funds, accusing him of the mismanagement of funds. All of a sudden, we're supposed to go, oh, well, this is clearly a church mission. So if you don't, support Turning Point Faith, especially given this terrible thing that they're going through. These were his real friends, and there's something wrong with you. You're not godly.
She said some of my real friends, right? I want to show y'all what real friends don't look like. Tell me what's wrong with this picture, y'all. This is Charlie Kirk's casket. Can somebody tell me what is wrong with this picture? Anybody can speak. Can somebody tell me what is wrong with this picture? This is a game of one of these don't look like the other. Can anybody explain to me what is wrong with this picture? The casket is too small. That's one of them. Yes. The casket is way too small. That's one of them. But what's the other thing? The hat. The hat. No, the hat. Mikey McCoy is wearing a ball cap. But he was his friend, right? No, he wasn't. You disrespectful little bastard to be holding this man's casket with a ball cap on. Mikey McCoy, you are a disrespectful little bastard. How dare you hold this man's casket, if it is his casket, because, you know, that's a whole different conversation. But how disrespectful you are to freaking do this with a damn ball cap on. You can't take your damn ball cap off, you little stupid idiot. So, no. They are not friends. They were never friends. They all are happy that he's gone.
I've said this before, but just as a reminder, All
right, let's keep going on. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. All right, hold on. Before we do this, we about to go down another rabbit hole real quick. A short rabbit hole. We're not going to be here for too long. But where's the freaking video? Hold on, y'all. I'm looking for a video. Oh, here we go. Let's play this and then come right back and we'll get into this.
Is sweeping the country, and this just in, a new way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other. These are some good questions.
Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from?
This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game.
Oh, they just Allie just showed me something. Let me get back to this picture. There's something else with Mikey McCoy that I didn't pay attention to. Let me bring it back up. Let me do it again. I'm about to pull the picture back up with Mikey McCoy. Something else I didn't notice. Look at Mikey McCoy's tennis shoes. He has a ball cap on and he has tennis shoes on, y'all. This little bastard didn't even think to put on a suit, y'all. What is wrong with this little bastard? Do y'all see this shit? Look at his shoes. So not only does he have a ball cap on, he got some damn tennis shoes on. What's wrong, Mikey? You stormed off so fast? You didn't notice that Charlie was dead? You got a random call like, "Hey, you coming to the funeral?" Huh? Charlie's dead. All right, I'm around the corner. Damn, bro. Shit is crazy. All right, so I just want to show y'all that. That shit is crazy, bro. That shit is absolutely crazy. All right, let's get back to this video.
For Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is. As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this.
What?
But that he was into the barely legal type. Like he.
What? Megan, are you on crack?
He liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting.
That's the same thing, you dummy.
I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts.
Okay, what are you doing if you're not giving an excuse?
That he.
And how do you know it's facts? You don't even know this man. You're giving facts? You're speaking on another man's dick? Was you his girlfriend or something? How the hell do you know what he was doing? See, this Megan broad, she's a problem also.
Wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And
was she fucking Epstein or something? Did she give Epstein some pussy?
And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it.
Hold on. I don't want no problems.
Abuse material on his computer that for the first time I thought, oh, no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean, only a pedophile gets off young children. He's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore. Yeah, so I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was I was under 10. I was under 14.
It don't matter. I don't know why she's doing this. I'm sure somebody paid her to do this. So that means she's also a piece of shit. But you're not even helping his case. 15 or 8, it's not even a difference. The man is dead. That's one. So why are you taking up for a dead man? Fuck him. But 2, you're taking up for a man messing with a 1-5. What is wrong with you, you dumb broad?
When I first came within his purview, look, you can say that's a distinction without a difference.
No, it's not.
I think there is a difference.
No, it's not. What?
There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. You know, it's just.
What are we doing here? What? I can't believe this stupid broad said something that crazy. Of course, there's a difference between 8 and a 15, but both are tadpoles, stupid.
Whatever.
Kash Patel, he has to step down. There's no other option here. He tweeted, I told you about that a couple of weeks ago, leave my girlfriend alone. And then we see you guys and like, she's my life partner. Like you left your wife. You've been with this girl for like a year and a half. Calm down. Okay. Just calm down. Like a teenager in love. It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Well, now his girlfriend, turns out, is suing Elijah Schaffer and other content creators for $5 million. For $5 million for her hurt feelings, okay? Because she was called a honeypot, an Israeli honeypot. And in some circumstances, I want to be very clear, they didn't even explicitly call her a honeypot. They just posted a picture. This is directly from a lawsuit. It says that on September 14th, 2025, an ex-user that goes by Hen Mazig published a lengthy and detailed post about the prominent role of female Mossad agents have played in Israel's sophisticated intelligence efforts against Iran, including by seducing top officials, and that some of them reportedly seduced high-ranking enemy officials. Now, in response to the comments on that same day, Elijah Schaffer posted a photo of Alexis Wilkins, that is her name, and Patel, right? So this is what they're suing over. And she might not be a Mossad honeypot, other than people saying she works for Marissa Straight, PragerU, who, she's formerly of the IDF intelligence unit. I worked for PragerU. I'm not a Mossad honeypot person, so that's not evidence. But there is evidence that she comes from a Freemason family in California. Like, dad was in the California Freemasons, and grandpa was pretty high up in the California Freemasons. And, Kash Patel's dropping 33 hours like it means something. That's actually more interesting than the Mossad honeypot thing. Mom works in aerospace. So she's not just like some cutesy country singer that has no connections. Like, let's make that clear. She doesn't have no connections. Letting you guys know that. And I am so sick of the idea that you're going to file and bankrupt people because you don't like what's on the internet. That's why this needs to be exposed. He should be flamed. The punishment for these sorts of things is these people should be shamed. They should be absolutely shamed. Out of public life forever. If your solution to somebody saying something on the internet is I'm going to bankrupt you, especially something, who cares? You're a country singer. Even if you were a Mossad honeypot, why do you care? This lawsuit is pathetic. You should.
All right. So yeah, I just got what you sent me. I'm watching it now. So I talked about this on my Patreon. So I totally agree with you. This is definitely probably what happened. Not exactly sure, but yeah, I talked about this a few times on my Patreon for sure. It's certain things that I can't say on YouTube. So yeah, make sure to go to my Patreon if you guys have not went on there. Patreon is only $4.99, and check out what I got on Patreon. Let me give you the Patreon link. Hold on a second.
Moved to Texas at a young age and joined the military just a little bit outside of high school. I became a police officer for the city of Irving in 1990. I spent 30 years at the city of Irving and approximately 22 years on the SWAT team. The Lord led me in 2019 to retire and to go into full-time missions and ministry outside of the United States. And I moved to Guatemala with an organization in natural disaster and relief.
Staff. So I just pinned my Patreon link at the top of the chat. I just pinned my Patreon link on the top of the chat. If anybody wants to check out my Patreon and see what I have put on over there. Altogether, there are certain things I have on my Patreon, and we talk about on my Patreon that we can't talk about on YouTube, because if we say something didn't happen, YouTube would literally take the video down. So, oh yeah, I definitely think Candace liked Charlie. I don't think Charlie liked Candace back. That's just my opinion. I don't know, but I think Candace would have definitely got with Charlie, but I don't think Charlie was into Candace. That's just my opinion. I have no idea. I don't know, but just the way Candace just lit up when she was around Charlie, Charlie could have got that if he wanted it, but I don't think he wanted it. All right. So let me do this. I'm going to drop the link if anybody wants to come up. I'm going to drop the link one time if anybody wants to come up. So if anybody wants to come up, share their opinion, or you can ask a question in the chat and put it in the super chat and I'll answer it. But if you want to come up, I just dropped the link in the chat. It says StreamYard. So I'll give y'all a few seconds. So I'm gonna go to a commercial and come back. And if somebody wants to come up, we'll speak to you. Commercial. Where's the commercial? All right, here we go. We'll be right back. Somebody's gonna come up and speak to us. We'll be right back.
How about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time?
Hit the link if you want to come up.
Hey, how about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. Actually, these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
Durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
All right, let's see. All right, so nobody wants to come up? Y'all are good? Going once, going twice? All right. That is it. I will talk to y'all later. Most likely, I'll go live tomorrow evening because we are literally bubbling with more information. So make sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And please hit the like button if you have not hit the like button. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. And as you already know, my card games are the best thing since sliced bread, especially during the holidays. So Thanksgiving is coming up. So make sure to buy your mother-daughter card game. And this could be played with any woman in the family, not just a mother and daughter, because, you know, and during Thanksgiving, there's a bunch of mother and daughters that are at the Thanksgiving, you know, whoever's house y'all at. This would be a very fun game to play with the women, because you already know during Thanksgiving, the women are going to be over here and the men are going to be over here, because football is going to be played on Thanksgiving. So the guys are going to be over here and it's going to be a whole bunch of women, and y'all are going to need something to do instead of just sitting around cackling about nothing. So make sure to get your card game. The link is under this video and the link is in the chat. I think I got something in somebody in the background. I need to see your face and I'll bring you up. So make sure to get your card game so you'll be able to get it shipped to you by Thanksgiving. Everybody right now, buy your card games now so your card game will be shipped to you by Thanksgiving. Don't wait until the last minute. Next thing you know, it's going to be after Thanksgiving and you're going to be mad and you're going to be like, where's my card game? Because you bought it too late. All right, Chris, I got two people in the background. I want to bring y'all up, but I got to see your face. So I'm waiting to see y'all face and I'll bring y'all up. So I got two people in the background. All right, here we go. Yo, what's going on, Chris?
There are much better things than sliced bread.
Thank you. What's going on?
I love that saying, since sliced bread. I love that saying.
Yeah, back in the day, everything was on bread. So it's nothing in the world like bread when you young.
Yeah, there's much better stuff out now since sliced bread. There's batteries, there's electricity, there's light bulbs. It's like, why don't we say that? Nothing like a light bulb.
You eat a sandwich on bread. And like bread is everything when you was kids. I don't eat bread at all now, but yeah, back in the day, everything was on a slice of bread. Yeah. But what are your thoughts, Chris?
I don't know. I've been blown away the past couple lives you done. I've been blown away. So that's a lot going on in my head. So I don't know right now.
Well, do you have an opinion about anything? Brittany,
Not
I'm
really
waiting
right
for
now.
you. Brittany Ops, I'm waiting for you. I need to see your face, Brittany. But I'm just saying, do you have any questions or? I don't know what happened to him. Chris, what happened? Brittany, are you there or not? Like you holding us up? All right, so I'm counting to 5, and then I'm gonna drop Brittany. But Brittany, you coming up or not? All right, I got 2 people back there. What are y'all doing? Like y'all. All right, forget it. All right, I had people who wanted to come up. B Ops manual. Wait. You there? Brittany. Brittany. Hello? All right, y'all. Whatever. It's not that hard. I'm watching. Yo, what's going on? How y'all doing? What's up?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing really good, man. Thanks for letting me pop in again, brother.
No problem. What are your thoughts on all this?
So my thoughts about this, man, I really am still hung up about these natural disasters and these wars, trafficking tadpoles.
It is what it is, man. You know, it's a $1 billion industry, you know?
No, I mean, like, I want to chime in. Going back about Haiti, did you ever get a chance to look into the Clinton Foundation and Laura Salisbury, I think her name was?
No, I don't remember that part.
Okay, when you get a chance, check that out, because we mentioned Guatemala, Puerto Rico, all these island nations, all these island countries. It just seems kind of like with the whole Epstein Island, man, they had like a port, they had submarine access and stuff like that. Did you ever look into that? Ghislaine Maxwell was like a very well-known diver or something like that. Like they had hours and hours of diving. They had so much stuff. Is like it's all connected, man. It's really weird, like how it's all coming together with the whole Diddy, Epstein, now with the Charlie Kirk. It's like, dude, the same talking points, the same fingerprint, like I mentioned last time. You know, like the 3-letter agencies, they like to use that lone gunman a lot.
Yeah. You know what? I'm surprised that they didn't do the 3-name person. Usually when there's a shooter, the person has 3 names. I don't know if you know about that. So it wasn't just Tyler Robinson, it'd be Tyler George Robinson. That is something I'm a little confused on why they did it, because that's the usually telltale CIA sign. It's usually 3 names and not 2 names.
You know what, though, to be honest, something just popped into my head, bro. So I recently came across information that basically suggests that in order to counter, we're talking spirituality, not religion, but like these Satanists, and what they do is they shove it in your face. And in order to cancel out that negativity, that evil karma, I guess you can say, what they do is, that's why everything, the all-seeing eye is all over the place. Like, why would they give themselves up? You know what I'm saying? Why would they openly do the handshake? Why would they openly put their hand in their, like this? Like they do this a lot. Yeah.
Well,
you know, like, dude, those are all like telltale signs.
It's because we can't do nothing about it. So they just laugh.
Yeah, that's another thing too, bro. But I think it washes away the bad karma, because they're telling you what they're gonna do. Like with the foreshadowing in the movies, and like how they what is it called, predictive programming.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a little preoccupied, brother. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get some stuff for the house late night.
Oh, it's no problem. I'm about to head out, get in these streets. So thank you for coming up, man.
Thanks for having me again, man. I really appreciate the hospitality, like always.
No problem, man. Have a good night.
You too. God bless.
All right. All right, somebody said they want to hear the intro again, so I'm gonna play the intro. Here we go.
Everybody, everybody hit the.
All right, here we go. Drop fire emojis in the chat. Drop fire emojis in the chat.
Everybody, everybody hit the like button. 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 If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. What? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city. Wet. Drop your city in the chat. What? Drop your city. What? Drop your city in the chat. Drop your city in the chat. What? Everybody hit the like button. Yep. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody